Have you ever heard of the red beads experiment? It's a classic exercise that delivers lessons in management, psychology, and employee relations.
Your job is to produce white beads. Is that clear? White beads, not red ones. How could you do it? Just, let me see. Don't know how you could do it. Thank you very much. The job is to make white beads, not red ones. What happened? Made 8 the first day, 11 the second. Getting worse. What happened? Couldn't they halt the line and find out what happened? Opposite. Something happened. Look at that. The job is to make white beads, not red ones. Procedures absolutely rigid. There should be no variation. The job is to make white beads, not red ones. Costs are overrunning revenues. Management are watching the figures. What happened? Can't understand it. Instead of closing the place down, they're going to keep it going with the 3 best workers. Fantastic contribution management. Some companies take the top % of the class. Serves them right. Things will be better now, no question about it. Going to see better performance. Maybe they will keep the place open.
12. Dismissed.
You can't understand. Karen's worst day. You can't understand. 5th day going to show substantial improvement, real improvement. We have only the best workers on the job. It's about the worst day of all, almost equal to the worst. What happened? I was looking for improvement. Management have decided to close the place down. Thank you very much.
Designed by W. Edwards Deming, one of the most influential management thinkers of the 20th century, the red bead experiment continues to be run by leading management teachers and consultants to share its many lessons. In the experiment, Deming set up a system in which workers had to select beads from a container and have their work inspected to count how many red beads they picked. If they picked more than a certain number of red beads, they might be fired. It was a tough job. And the workers tried their best to pick all white beads. No matter how hard they tried, they always produced too many red beads. The system we see turned out to be stable. Both the variation in the production of red beads and the cost of production were predictable. All of the variation, the differences between willing workers in the production of red beads and the variation from day to day of any individual willing worker came entirely from the process itself. There was no evidence that any one worker was better than another. The output of the red beads by the willing workers showed statistical control and was stable, as we see in this chart. They put into the job all that they had to offer. They could, under the circumstances, do no better. The lessons of the red beads tell us that the workers were doing their best.
Rapid learner.
But the system was holding them back. They were victims of a bad process, not bad workers. The red beads teaches us that ranking is wrong because we are not really ranking people, teams, plants, or divisions. We are ranking the effects of the process. When ranking is performed as is done in merit systems or in appraisals of people, it is wrong. based upon faulty reasoning and crushes joy in work. We might as well reward the weather person for a sunny day. The futility of pay for performance is another lesson we learned from the red beads. The performance of the willing workers was governed totally by the process that they worked in. Even so, management declared the performance of the willing workers so bad that some even lost their jobs. The foreman gave out merit increases in pay and put people on probation, supposedly as rewards and punishment for their performance. It turns out he was rewarding and punishing the performance of the process, not of the willing workers. The foreman was rewarding and punishing the wrong things. The experiment was a display of bad management. Procedures were rigid. The willing workers had no chance to offer suggestions for improvement of output. They could not improve. The place closed, and the willing workers lost their jobs. A rigid system with no room for improvement will ultimately fail. We learned the lesson that management needs to be open to feedback and actions for improvement. On the job, anyone has an obligation to try to improve the system and thus to improve their own performance and everyone else's. They could not, under these processes controlled by management.